What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another video. In today's video, man, we have some Detroit Lions news. The Lions have finalized the blockbuster deal. Matthew Stafford has been shipped out, and a new quarterback is coming in. So let's get it started.
You know, I got to shout out DoseOfDion, man, because it was actually the first time I went live on YouTube. And, you know, guys don't know DoseOfDion. He put out a lot of good content for the Detroit Lions.
And welcome everybody to another video. Glad you guys are here. And man, oh man, this was not the deal I was expecting. But I can't lie. Not surprised the Lions did it on Saturday night because they did the same thing last weekend. They always break the news on Saturday night. What is about this, Lions? Huh? I'm trying to go to sleep. I'm trying to watch the Pistons game. No. We got to make a trade Saturday night. Okay, whatever. So the Lions make a trade. And like I said, this was not the deal I expected. I definitely, obviously he was going to get traded. I definitely thought it would go elsewhere. I was really thinking Colts. And I don't know how close those other teams were. But let's just talk about the trade, man. Let's just dive right into it. I want to give you guys my thoughts on both sides and, how I'm going to approach this. So here's the trade breakdown. The Detroit Lions will receive the LA Rams 2022 first-round pick, the 2023 first-round pick, the 2021 this year third-round pick. Don't know why I did that in that order. And also quarterback Jared Goff, the 26-year-old. The LA Rams, in return, will get quarterback Matthew Stafford, and that's it. That's all they get is Matthew Stafford. So the Lions land 3 picks, 2 first-round picks for the future, and also a quarterback that could potentially be the future. So how do I feel about both sides? Well, we did a stream on this, but I kind of want to summarize how I feel for both sides, just for anybody that may have missed it. Let's start off with the Rams side of things. First off, I think the Rams made a tremendous trade here. I think, look, there's not many times you're going to get a guy like Matthew Stafford to come available. And if you believe that that quarterback can take you over the hump, if you believe that this move can give you a shot at titles, you do it. I don't think you even hesitate. You do it. All right? Don't be afraid to hold back. It's not easy to get a Super Bowl, okay? Us Lions fans know that. So don't hold back. And for the Rams right here, if there's a team in the league that I know that won't hold back when it comes to trying to go win right now, it's the Rams. They've done it before. They never had first-round picks. It's a Rams thing that I had first-round picks. And now they don't have them this year or the next 2 years either because they acquired Matthew Stafford. But like I said, it's a big upgrade for them. They want to go win right now. They're in a very tough division in the NFC West. I kind of feel bad for those teams. But, man, you got Kyler Murray in the Cardinals. You have Russell Wilson in Seattle. And, of course, the San Francisco 49ers. And they were involved in the Stafford trade, but they didn't get him. I kind of feel bad for the Niners fans. I mean, those Niners fans that wanted Stafford and then all of a sudden – they don't know, not only don't get Matthew Stafford, they also see Matthew Stafford join a team in their division. Like, how mad could you be? So for the Rams, I think they made a great trade here, okay? You landed a stud. You got a guy for 2 years. You're going to go try to win right now. You're trying to compete for that division race. You're trying to compete for a Super Bowl. And, look, you got the best dude that's available right now at quarterback. So congrats, Rams. Now for the Lions side of things. Oh, this is where things get interesting. And I know it's pretty split right now on how people feel. Obviously, I want to see how Jared Goff plays. I'm not going to judge him just based on numbers. I got to go watch some film and things like that. And obviously, it's going to be different to how he plays in Detroit. But here's my thoughts. And it's really starting to come around. At first, I hear this. I'm like, okay, good, bad. It's kind of feel in the middle. But I'm starting to like it even more as I think about it. So here's my thoughts. First off, let's throw away Jared Goff for a second. We'll talk about him. I'll bring him back to the conversation. But throw away Jared Goff for a second. You got 2 future first-round picks and a third-round pick this year. Just that alone is a really good return. Now, those picks probably are going to be later. They're probably going to be later because they're expected to be better than the upcoming seasons. That's why they made the trade for Stafford. So they're probably going to be later first-round picks, right? The third-round pick this year will stay wherever it is. And they were a 9-7 team, so that'll stay where it is. But those other picks are expected to be later. But that was kind of the case with any team we traded with, unless they gave us this year's pick because they're expected to be a bit better over the next couple of years. So that's that. Obviously, those picks in return on their own are very good. But the big question here that makes everybody, because I mean, I think if you just had those picks, it wouldn't be maybe the best return because you like more picks this year. But it's really good. 2 first-round picks. You can't ask for much more than that. I mean, think about it. The Texans were asking for 3 first-rounders for Watson. You got 2 first-round picks and a third-round pick. That's a nice return. But you also got Jared Goff, which is the X factor in this trade. Because some people like him. Well, not a lot of people like him, but a lot of people don't like him and are just worried about it. Well, here's the thing. Here's what I'll tell you. If you're worried about how Jared Goff will play, I get it. Thing is, I entered this offseason not expecting the Lions to get any kind of upgrade at quarterback because they weren't going to do it. There isn't a guy out there the Lions were going to get upgrade at quarterback initially. But why Jared Goff is better than what it seems like initially? Because we first talked about, man, what are they going to do with that contract? How are the Rams going to get rid of Jared Goff's contract? Well, now the Lions take it on. We're thinking, oh my gosh, we just took on another giant contract. Why would we do that when this is our chance with a clean slate to rebuild? One thing I didn't notice is that there's no guaranteed money after 2 years from now. 2 years from now, after the 2022 season, there's no guaranteed money in that contract. And the Lions are a little bit safer with this contract because, yes, it looks really bad, but if the Detroit Lions wanted to move on Jared Goff and it didn't work out, since there is no guaranteed money in 2022, and that takes about a 2/3 drop in his dead cap after this season, first off, after this season, Lions could potentially find it way easier to trade him to a certain team. Not this season, but after this season, traded to a certain team if someone wants to try on him because it'd be cheaper. But also then the next year, the Lions could potentially even cut this guy and they wouldn't have to pay much money at all. I don't completely understand how much they would have to pay, but I know it'd be way, way less because there is no guarantees then on that contract for the last 2 years. So I think Brad Holmes clearly has a plan here where there is an out if it doesn't work out. If it works out, great. You got tons of picks and you got a quarterback. If it doesn't, dang, but you still got tons of picks and you're not in a situation where you're absolutely stuck with this contract, so you can go elsewhere with it, and it gives the Lions a little bit more security. Plus, they have draft picks where then they could draft a quarterback in the upcoming years if they wanted to. I don't think Jared Goff is someone that the Lions are looking to trade. I don't think they made this move thinking we're going to trade Goff and get more assets. I don't think that's what they're doing because I don't think they can do it. I honestly think if the Lions wanted to trade Goff right now, it'd be extremely difficult because you see how much the Rams had to give up just to get rid of that contract. They're not as locked into this long-term contract as maybe was initially expected. Now, sure, yes, you are going to pay some money for Jared Goff. That kind of stinks. But to be fair, the Lions had the 7th pick in this draft. And unless you were going to land a really high pick in a trade for Stafford, odds are you're taking probably the 4th quarterback off the board, maybe the 3rd. All right, without trading up. Trading up maybe the 3rd or 2nd. It's going to be very difficult. You usually have to give up a ton to trade up. So odds are the quarterback you were going to draft probably wasn't going to be better right now than Jared Goff is. The Lions, they bring in a quarterback that Brad Holmes was a very big part in drafting. He wanted, all right, Jared Goff. This was Jared Goff's guy. Jared Goff, Brad Holmes' guy was Jared Goff in that draft. When they took him number 1, he was a big part. He wanted Goff, and clearly that shows as he brought him back in again. So this is his guy, which is great. So it's either Jared Goff pans out, and this could be a guy that we build around for the future, or if he doesn't, which is possible, you're not stuck. Not only did you land this quarterback that could potentially be your future, you also landed 2 first-round picks for the next 2 years, which means during that time for the next 2 years, you're going to have 2 first-round picks in each of the next 2 drafts. You could be looking to land a quarterback then. And Campbell tells today, look at the Chiefs, right? Alex Smith. They built it with Alex Smith. They plugged in Patrick Mahomes, and boom, look how it took off. The Lions, what I wanted to do, I wanted to build a team before I got a quarterback, right? Before I said, okay, give up all this assets to go get a quarterback. I didn't want the Lions to give up tons of picks to go grab a quarterback because they knew they had the need there. I wanted the Lions to focus on the holes, and if you find a quarterback you love, take him. But what the Lions were able to do here is they were able to grab a quarterback that Brad Holmes loves. I don't know if they all love him that much, but they were able to grab a quarterback, but also get picks in return. They also got big assets. I mean, I'm going to be honest, I don't know what the other deals were, but 2 first-round picks and a 3rd is a tremendous return on its own. It's a tremendous return. Not great for this year because you only got the 3rd this year, which gives you 6 picks in this year's draft. But that's a tremendous return on its own.
Hey, man, I think that's the biggest factor in all of this, that you were able to get the quarterback, but also you're able to get these big assets in return. I mean, I don't know, man. This seems like a great offer just by the picks alone, but now you have a potential fill in at quarterback. You have your potential answer at quarterback. Maybe not. I know he might not be, but he could be. And now the Lions have draft picks where they can still build a team. Now, yes, they didn't get their picks this year, but I think that has to do because you got your quarterback this year. If the Lions didn't get a quarterback in a trade, I think it would have been almost a must that you got a pick this year. But looking at where the Lions are right now as a team and they're trying to go forward for the future, they have a couple options with this. For the next couple years, right, they'll have Jared Goff as their quarterback, you would think, and they can focus on building it with like their normal picks that they have. And if it doesn't work out, now you have these future firsts that help you start planning towards the future, potentially drafting a quarterback and moving on in a different direction. So basically, you could have 2 potentially retools / rebuilds. And just like Dan Campbell said with the Chiefs situation, Jared Goff, depending on how he plays, could either be our Alex Smith or he could be the future. If he plays well, he could be the future. If not, he could be our Alex Smith, and we could find our Mahomes, and he kind of is the fill-in for now. And then after the 2 seasons, when we save a lot more money, we can move on and go a different route. That won't happen right now. They're going to give him a chance, but you could down the road. If you would have told me that I could get 2 first-round picks and a 3rd-round pick this year for Stafford, I would have thought that's a pretty darn good deal, and I would have been like pretty happy with it just on its own. But I think what Goff is scaring people because they're worried about, what's he going to be for the future. He may not even have to be part of the future, or he could be. To me, Goff is a potential, right? Goff has the potential to be future, which would mean you would have an incredible trade here, an incredible value. If he's not, darn, but guess what? You still have the picks. That's the thing. The Lions still have the picks, and what I wanted the Lions to get was just focus. I wanted the Lions to be able to focus on the run game and defense and not reach for a quarterback, give all this stuff up to do it. But you didn't have to give all your stuff. I mean, you still have a potential quarterback quarterback. He was a former first-round pick. Think about it. You want to draft a quarterback. What are the odds they pan out? He's a former first-round pick, so if you don't think Goff is good, who knows what the next drafted quarterback is going to look like? That's the biggest thing right here is Lions have a chance. If it doesn't work out, dang. But you also still have an opportunity with your draft picks to continue to build this team the right way and still get the assets that you may have gotten anywhere else.
Holmes likes him, and the Lions now have assets to focus on building the run game and the defense while also having a potential quarterback in place. It's going to be super difficult for the Lions to compete 2021 just because of how bad they were last season, how many things that need to be changed. The worst defense in the league, can't run the ball, and now you lost the only guy holding together at quarterback. It's very difficult. So yes, a first-round pick this year would have been great, but I don't think it's an issue that we still got 2 first-round picks for the next 2 upcoming years because, yes, it would have been cool to have one this year, but the Rams didn't have one to give, and you're getting a quarterback. So what are you going to use that other first-round pick for? A playmaker or a defense player, whatever it may be. You could do the same thing next year or the year after that with those picks. And plus, if you were going to try to trade up and grab a quarterback, I meant to say first overall pick, well, now you have a potential at quarterback. And like I said, the Lions are fired up to have him. I mean, the Lions are absolutely fired up. Dan Campbell's excited. Brad Holmes excited, of course, because this was someone that they did like, and it's someone that Brad Holmes really liked, and he wanted coming out of the draft. So if his analytics are right, hopefully this works. And this also doesn't take out a question the Lions could draft a quarterback. I don't expect them to do it at number 7, but they could still stay going somewhere in the draft and have a compete. My man Kellen Mond, MVP today. I'm just saying, you never know, okay? But I'm just saying, you know, you can always get someone to compete, and I think it's more likely the Lions would do it next year. So if Goff doesn't play well this year, and then you're potentially looking for the future, different options, well, then you have those 2 first-round picks, whether that's when you jump up and draft. If you're a bad team because Goff didn't play well anyways, you're going to have a top pick anyways, you take a quarterback then. Okay, you could potentially be in a better spot next year than this year for the draft when it comes to selecting a quarterback if Goff doesn't pan out. And if he does pan out, great. You don't even have to do it, but you could still bring competition. Everything's still on the table because the Lions didn't have to give up anything. They didn't have to give up picks, and they still landed a potential quarterback. They still have a guy that, as of right now, what we're told, is expected to be the guy under the center in 2021. Now you have the quarterback, plus you have picks to fix the run game and defense. For me, both sides made a good trade here. For the Lions, I don't know what Goff is going to turn into. We're going to watch some film tomorrow. We're going to start diving into it and see how he's done so far. I don't want to base him just on stats. Yes, he had a rough last year. I get it. But he's in a different situation now. The Rams did better because you got the better player. But I think for the Lions, look, yes, what's Goff going to turn into? That's the X factor, because is Goff going to be good? If he's good, this turns into Lions made an incredibly great trade. If Goff turns really good and we're like, hold up, we got all these picks, plus we got a good quarterback that's 26 years old, we stole him because it's so difficult. People think you draft a quarterback, you find one. That's not how it works. Most of the time, you're drafting a bust. Okay, and the Rams do that. That's why they gave up so much for him. So I think we're looking at this. Both teams did a good job with this trade. The Lions, it could be the future. Maybe it's not. I'm not sure. But either way, you have the out if you don't want to go that direction. And if you can't go that direction, great. You landed 3 picks. You landed 2 first-round picks, and you got your quarterback. All in one trade. And you didn't even have that much leverage because you knew Stafford had to be traded. I am happy to... I'm happy for Matthew Stafford, okay? Just in that general, I'm happy for him. Stafford's going to a team that has a chance to compete. He's playing in a tough division, but look, Stafford, from what we know, he wanted to be there. He's going to work with Sean McVay. I think Stafford's living the life right now, and I'm super happy for him. I'm grateful for what he did in Detroit, and I'm happy we were able to do him right and put him to a team that can be a contender. So go get that ring, Matthew. For us, it could be, you know, whether Goff's a hit or miss, you have a plan outside of it. If he's a miss, okay, dang, not as good as a trade, but you still got the picks. And if he hits, now you just made a great trade. So I have to pay him for the next 2 years. So that hurts a little bit that you don't get as much money for free agency. But you got a quarterback. And sitting at 7, I don't know if Brad Holmes liked his options there. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you for watching. Go Lions. I got to get to bed, and I'm out.